Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of our Timberborn Ironteeth Pressure playthrough. We are on the 1.0 experimental branch, trying out the new features. Um, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Without further ado, let's get started. So, I had deleted the large power wheel here because I wanted to replace it with a steam engine. Steam engine requires metal, so we're not ready for that. So we're going to rebuild that large power wheel. We are going to take a look around. We don't have any unstable cores becoming active at the moment, but we want to watch down here for when they do. We just got this finished. This unstable core exploded, but I did notice something. Yes, this is enough to keep it blocked this way, but for the water to flow out, it needs to get above this. So, not high enough. Not high enough. We need one more layer here. Let's delete that. Delete that. We're going to need to build another layer of levees here, or else we're going to have bad water issues. To reach that one, we're actually... Those two-way stations seem so big after playing Ember Pelts with the small two-way stations. But we're going to need a triple platform up there in order to... No, not there. Because if we can get the beavers on top of this levee, they can build that one. So, this all needs to be highest of priorities. To unlock the builder's hut, I think we could use some more builders. Yeah. This should be pumping. Not sure why it wasn't. There's still water on this? I really don't think there is. Nope. I also think we should get another pump going down here. Because we don't have much water stored up at the moment. And we're going to want more stored up. So what the name of the game for this episode is going to be mitigate unstable cores that are exploding. I would not be surprised if this is our next one, just because it seems to be really close to our colony and could really mess things up. It seems like they're not having the really far away ones that you have no chance of doing anything about first. So that's good. So this is medicating that unstable core. The next priority is to start getting metal so we can get sluices and have proper badtide prevention. Right now, our badtide prevention is basically relying on this farm up here to not starve. All right. I think just even 2 more builders and maybe having 3 haulers. Where are all of our other beavers working? We don't need that lumberjack working right now. In fact, we don't need this forester going right. It probably would be nice to have him replanting those oaks, actually. Well, these aren't planted either. Okay. How's this coming along? We have 3 days. So this needs to be built, and then they can build the rest of it. Okay, oh, we have 4 on this. That we definitely don't need. We are out of planks, though. Let's get them on here. Just 1. Let's actually try to turn on that fermenter again if we can. Nope, don't have the labor right now. Unless I take another one out of here. That might be a thought. This beaver actually can be elsewhere. Okay, but to turn the fermenter on, we would then need another beaver in here. Let's drop it down to 2 haulers for now. Okay, this is almost done. That should get done in time. This map is very challenging, guys. I think even without the unstable course, just the nature of this map would be pretty challenging. The unstable course just bumps it up even quite a bit higher in difficulty. Okay, so that's really close to being done, which is great news because we need it to be. We do have a homeless beaver. Let's address that. Can unlock row houses and fit another one. Fits really nicely right there, actually. Making some fermented cassavas that boosted our well-being, which is also going to help. All right, that is done. So we can recover those planks. Now we can start thinking about the possibility, at least, of getting metal going. So we need a smelter. We're going to put it right... Not enough science points. Okay. So we do need those inventor huts going. We could pause this other work builder's hut because we're not building anything too crazy right now. The building lacks power until those beavers get on the wheel. Okay. I feel like... Yeah, let's make some planks. I feel like I want to prepare for an unstable core, but I don't know which one's going to blow. So we just deal with it. We are full on log storage, and we got these waiting to be harvested. Let's build some more log storage. We're definitely going to need it at some point. Hey, we got the 300 science. Let's get that smelter. That's not exactly where I wanted that. Unstable core 10 days. Which one is it? Okay, so my hunch was right. How do we keep that? So we need to just guarantee that the water flows this way. Oh, there's a nice little water seep right there. That's another new mechanic. It's basically a water source, but it will stop once the tiles above it reach, I believe it's 0.8. So you can't ever pressurize it. It's just a little extra water. Nice to know, though, that is there. Oh, excuse the yawn. Let's see. But yeah, we need to make sure that the bad water goes that way. That's going to take out that whole area. Basically, we're going to need levees here. That high. Where is that going to stop? So yeah, those... I think that's the best we can do for that right now. Okay, so now we need to figure out a way to get up there. Okay, I was just trying to figure out if two double platforms would be cheaper or single and a triple. And it turns out single and triple is 16. Two doubles is 16. So exactly the same. This is going to take a lot of planks to get these stairs working for us. We have 49 at the moment. Is what it is, I suppose. So we got the logs over here. That's not as close as I would like it. Same with planks. Let's go ahead and set this one to planks. Obtain high priority. And this one at logs. Obtain prioritize. We might need a few more haulers. More builders would also be helpful. So let's unpause that, and we'll kick some out of these inventor huts. We'll put the smelter at a lower priority. We have 10 days to finish this, and that's a lot of building to be done over there. So hopefully that'll get filled with planks that the builders can use for these. We'll set this at not super high, but high priority. Where is our water at? It is taking forever. Did something else get messed up? No, it just took forever to pressurize and come through that way. It took a whole day. So once that gets there, we're gonna have to pause these water pumps and turn these ones on. We still don't have a lot saved up, so I think I'm gonna build a third pump over here. Because, yeah, our badtide survival strategy is the irrigation ponds, but for that to work, we need a lot of bad water stored up, and we just don't have that at the moment. Not bad water, good water stored up. And we just don't have that at the moment. Okay, that one is flooded, so we got to pause it. This one's not flooded yet. Deep water well. Want it to go there. How's this project coming? Honestly, not great. Not great. It's going to cost a lot of logs. Let's get that pump going. Unpause these two. Pause that one. We have some bad water issues because this is taking forever to fill up. Needs to push the bad water back that way. Ideally, we should have these switch to floodgates, probably. Yeah, that'd be a thought. Think we can place some of these with oaks. Did I not mark some of these for cutting? That's what it feels like. No, I did. They can reach. Just, we don't have enough haulers to get this stuff out of there. Let's pause the inventor for now. We really need to get this project going. Food is looking pretty good. Keep this cassavas going because we need... It's helpful for the well-being bonus. Oh, man. That's a long way for our beavers to go. Two ways would be super helpful. So would sluices. Okay, so we have the smelter unlocked. We're not making metal yet. Sluices take another 400 science. Okay. Actually, we'll make this sluices because that's one directional flow. The bad water physically can't back up that direction if those were sluices. Oh, these unstable cores. Like, this whole project would not need to be done without these unstable cores. They're a pain in the butt, but I like it. It really makes you shift your focus, and it adds some difficulty. I like the challenge. And it is indeed proving to be challenging. Especially on this map. Bad tide approaching. Okay. So these oaks probably gonna die. Right? There's no reason to replant any of them because they're not going to live long enough to get mature. So we can pause that. That means these oaks are going to become important. Kohlrabies, we might need another farmhouse. We also need to store up way more water than what we got going on now. Kind of unfortunate how closed off that area is. Well, those cassavas will die here shortly, and then I'll build another one over there, I guess. We'll put these at high priority. The badtide's actually coming before the unstable core. So storing up as much water as we can for that badtide does take precedence. To go along with that, we're going to want another medium tank. Undoubtedly. This is going to be water. It's about all we can do. Four days till this explosion happens, and it gives us a really bad time. A day and a half until the bad tide, which is also gonna give us a very bad time. In fact, this is no worse than the bad tide. This just contaminates our main water source. That's the same thing that the bad tide's going to do, right? So we definitely need this extra storage ASAP. Do we have the gears for it? No. Why would we have the gears for it? They're all going to this at the moment. Hmm. Um, we're not actually reaching storage capacity, so not having that probably isn't that big of a deal. Let's at least get some small ones over here. I'm going to hit V, take the settings from that one, and transfer it to these ones. We're going to make those super high priority so that these beavers don't have to move as far to store that water and to give us a little bit more storage as well. Yeah, that unstable core is going to blow up and cause problems. But like I said, it's not going to cause any more problems than what the bad tide's already going to be causing, right? I guess the bad water from this exploding will reach our settlement a little sooner than a bad tide. That's really all. Here comes the bad tide. Thankfully, it took a whole day for the water, good water, to start pumping out here. It's going to take just as long for the bad water. So we do have some more pumping we can do in the meantime. We're going to keep pumping until we can't. Bad tides, 11 days. That's brutal, to be perfectly honest. Okay, we did get quite a bit more water stored up than what we had. So I think we should be okay there. Are we even going to finish this project in time? There's a distinct chance we might not. Huh. Guess it's just is what it is. This next day, I'm not going to have him sleep at all. I mean, we don't have as many logs over here as I thought, to be honest. We must just not have enough haulers. We'll pause this for now. We don't need to be dumping much more in there. Just one more to go. All right, we barely made it. Before we forget, let's set that back to 18-hour days. Let's unpause this scavenger flag because we need more scrap metal than what we have just to build the smelter. I'm going to put another small industrial pile over here for scrap and have that one set to obtain. And then just one other pile for the metal blocks that come out of that smelter. All right, so there is a portion of this water is bad water now. Hey, this did explode. And we contained it. So kudos to us there. That was a win. The bad tide is still unfortunately going to kill everything over here. But we're going to pump as much water out of there as we can while we can. As much as beaverly possible. This doesn't need to be set to obtain anymore or prioritized by haulers. That is what slowed this down. All right. We've almost got rid of all of the good water here. These pumps are not going to get much more out of here. These ones are probably going to be more effective than these because the new water wants to flow that way. So this is kind of more stagnant, so some more of that good water might hang out over there. Yeah, and our oaks are dying. I am really surprised that the contamination hasn't reached over here yet. Now it has. Now it has. All right, so this is our main source of food now. I am glad we got these blueberries planted over here because the contamination might reach some of these, and that would be very problematic. Thankfully, these oaks that grew, even the dead ones, are still worth 8 logs. I really don't even have a guess for which unstable core is going to be next. So I guess we just work towards sluices a little bit more. To try to mitigate future bad tides. That's about all we can do, I think. There will definitely be another unstable core that's going to prove a problem. I just don't know where it is. Okay, it very well might be these. Actually, now that I'm looking at it. And that's not actually too bad. We actually got good water trapped down there. So if those blow up and let this bad water in, what that's going to affect is the bad water is going to have enough pressure to flow this way and cause issues. And there's actually a pretty painless way to fix that. Let me just scroll up here a bit. So some of our good water is coming out there. So that's where we're losing some water pressure. Because when it's not a bad tide, some of it is coming out here, I guess. Which is very interesting. If it's this one, that will cause some more issues. But, so to keep these ones over here from being an issue, all we need to do really is get down here and build levees, and we already have a way down. We just have to delete these levees to make that happen. And I don't want to send a beaver down there when it's bad water, if I can at all avoid it. So every now and then we're still getting a pump of good water out of here. That's gonna slow down here before too long. All right, we have the smelter up and running. Well, we have the smelter. So yeah, these ones, they're still getting occasional water out of there. That does surprise me. And we could use every last drop of water, so we're going to leave that be for now. I think we need to pause one of these breeding pods. Our population is growing a little bit too fast. It's going to put a strain on our water and food reserves. Let's see, with the water we have right now, we have, what, 33 adults? We have 36 beavers times 2, 72 times 4 is approximately how much water we're going to use up. So 72 times 4, 228. we actually might have enough water stored up. So that's refreshing. We'll keep these ones going a little bit. I think they might be a little more effective than these ones over here. Okay. We do need to keep the fermenter going. Okay. It's hard to predict what we need to focus on next when we don't know about those unstable cores. You know, we have a lot of kohlrabi just sitting here not being harvested, so we could build more kohlrabi storage. That's a perfectly legit thing to do. Legitimate decision. But I'm kind of in favor of planting more cassava instead of the kohlrabi. All right, so we have some injured beavers and we only have one medical bed. So we are going to have to expand that. Right there and right there should be fine spots. We'll build one extra as well. Slowly but surely we're getting some metal. I don't know how... Yeah, we're not doing that great on getting science at the moment. It is what it is. Are these still... Okay, they're not hard. They're barely getting any pumps in. Let's just pause those. The amount of water we're getting out of those is not worth the labor. Let's have them in the inventor huts instead. We do have one homeless beaver. We can fit another row house right there, so that should help out a little bit. So we're going to replant cassava here. I am trying to leave... Oh, excuse me with these yawns. Trying to leave some of these spaces right here open for the lumberjacks that are going to need to cut down these oaks. 1 day left of that bad tide. And we haven't been warned which unstable core is going to go kaboom yet. The demand is getting really high on here. Oh, I did not mean to pause it. I meant to put another beaver on there. Quite the opposite of pausing it, actually. We are going to want those steam engines to help save on the labor. And in addition to that, they can produce more HP than the wheel as well. Okay. Food's doing fine. Water's a little lower than I would have wanted. Bad tide is almost over. It's going to take like a day for our good water to reach here, though. So that's going to kind of stink. How much does the number cruncher cost? A lot. We're not there yet. 100 gears, we're not there yet. It would be nice to have, though. Let's see. Storage over here isn't terribly far away. Well, that's not where I wanted that to go. I'm going to build a large industrial pilot here that can hold our metal blocks. That doesn't need to be prioritized by haulers anymore. We're not building over here. How's that good water coming? Has it reached yet? No, it has not. Unfortunate. That'll take a while, I guess. It's already the second day and we're not seeing any sign of good water coming out. Yeah, we need here to go over here and push out this bad water. Right now we are losing some of it going this way. Just replacing that to evaporation, and some of that bad water that was pushed over here earlier is coming out. Both of those not ideal. A drought's approaching. We still haven't had our good water pop up yet. It's got to be coming soon. That was the shortest possible temperate cycle we could get. Let's just turn these back on because there might be some water there, and any water is going to be better than none. We're not building anything, so let's pause that builder's hut. Help with our job situation. Gosh, still not sending much. Okay, I hate to say it, but I think we need to block this off. We might be losing too much water going over that way. There's an unstable core here too. So really we want to force the water up here as soon as possible. So I think we need to get a beaver down here. And there's good water over here. Oh yeah, because that was just pressurized and it's never changed. We need to get a beaver down here. Now we need to put levees here and here. Actually, what we need to do is put sluices here and sluices here, so that if it's bad water behind here, it goes that way. If it's good water, it goes this way. Not sure where this actually leads. I'm not seeing. Is there an unstable core there? There is. Okay, so that's just another way for that bad water to flow down. It's not going to be pressurized, I don't think. Yeah, we are thirsty. It's the middle of the temperate cycle, and are we finally getting some clean water? Not really. Oh, there's just not a good way for that water to flush out. Bad water pumps require metal. We have the metal. I just want to get rid of some of this bad water. And maybe get some extract going. Because we're probably going to have some contaminated beavers before too long here. because we need to get down here and start doing that renovation. So yeah, let's build that pump. And then we're going to try to only risk like one beaver. Do we have sluices yet? No, we need 400 science for that. We got the bad water pump instead. That was probably a mistake. In fact, almost certainly a mistake. It's already drought, and we didn't get like any of our good water. Why isn't that? It's not flow. Well, okay, the drought started now, so of course it wasn't flowing, but did another unstable core like blow up and I missed something? Yeah, we're losing. We lost good water this direction. Okay, this just always stayed mixed. It never just flushed out very well. So we're still pumping out good water, and bad water. We're gonna need all the good water we can get. So let's do this, and we're gonna pump out of here as well. Because we can't afford to let even that water go to waste. Yeah. This one's tough, guys. Oh, crap. I kept this off for too long. Our crops died. Let's just leave that on now. I was trying to save a little bit of labor. It did not go well. We are short on labor. I think that's enough of the smelter. And if the smelter's gone, we don't need as many there. Probably only need one in there. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. Let's replant some cassava here. I was going to leave these spots open. I failed at that. Okay, this is surprisingly mixed. Not too bad. If that sentence makes any sense at all. We're actually getting a decent amount of water out of this mix. It's not clean. There is contamination. Gosh, I don't think we're gonna get to the point really where we can afford to not send our beavers down to get contaminated. Can we get the decontamination pods in time though? That I also don't know. We don't have all the cassava, so that can be paused. We are going to enter a bit of a food crisis here because, well, we let this dry out and our crops died. It was not good. And 100% avoidable. Centrifuge requires 600 science. We don't have that. We don't have the 400 for the steam engine. We are not in a good spot. I know what we need to do. We need to get down there, down here, and make the pressurized pipes work better to get water here faster, and also that'll help it flush out the bad water faster. And that's just straight up what does need to happen. Build another one here to try to get as much of that water as we can. I know it's partially contaminated. Well, no water there, no sense having him working. We do have some regular cassavas, but we need 4 of them. Okay. That'll work. We are forced to eat just some berries, even. Still not getting a lot of water out of here. We don't have a lot of water left. It is what it is. I think decontamination beds are so out in the future. I think we just have to worry about having some contaminated beavers, and then maybe set up the leopard colony. Building a new district and sending the contaminated beavers over there. And then not having food over there is one way to deal with that. So, because once they're contaminated, they won't work, but they'll still eat and drink, so they're just a drain on your resources. So setting up a different district for them to just go and starve to is the most economical way to deal with contaminated beavers. The other option is to treat it with iron teeth. That involves having extract, which I guess we have bad water, right? All we would really need is the centrifuge, and the district center costs the district crossing, sorry. We don't need the district crossing, do we? We just need to set up its own district somewhere. Somewhere far away from where we're actually working. And send the poor beavers over there. Because we need to do something about this. 100%. Actually, we got that good water trap down there. If we do delete these levees, we can actually pump some of that out. So those do need to be deleted. And now we're officially sending the beavers on the suicide mission. Godspeed, beavers. Actually, we don't want levees there. It would be much better to have sluices. And we have the metal. We might be able to get by with not a whole lot of flow that goes through here. I think we can get by with maybe just 2, 1. Let's keep 2 sluices down there. And we're gonna set these to auto open if downstream is contaminated. So that means close below contamination of, yeah, let's do 5 right now. We also need to make the path over here. Yeah, we got some unwell beavers. We kind of knew that would happen. So after this is built, we can then build other sluices to keep things over here and say good water can go this way. Are these doing anything anymore? It's hard to tell when it's nighttime. Yeah, we have the unwell beavers now. We have more cassavas. Let's unpause the fermenter. All right, so we're down to 30 beavers now. Because we did turn off this breeding pod that did get us less beavers, and that's okay because that's a less drain on our resources. 30 beavers, 60 water a day, 60 times the 5, 300. We got enough water. So that's the good news. We have enough water. Okay, these ones are worthless now. Okay, so we blocked off this. So that should help get the water going where we need it to quicker. Okay, so it's actually going fairly well over here. I am a little worried. Will the good water try to go that way? I think we're going to have to build sluices. Okay, so that's going to get blown up, is what it's telling me. Huh. Because I don't want our good water going this way. And is there any way for it to flow off the map here? Oh, it's so complicated. Is that a good water source? Interesting. Untangling these bad water sources. Untangling the bad water is going to be quite a challenge. And really, we're going to need the discharges on them. And to kind of just close it to start with. And then we're going to, at each water source, have to do a badtide diversion system. It's the only way I see us being able to ever detangle the good water and bad water. Okay, so that's done. That's done. This isn't blowing up yet, so we don't need to worry about that yet. I'm going to rebuild the levees that keep these two areas separate. I would feel bad doing the contaminated beaver district and letting them starve, because really the only time I'd feel comfortable doing that is if they got contaminated because of their own stupidity. That's not the situation. They got contaminated risking their lives to save the colony. I won't dishonor them by sending them away, even though they're going to be a drain on resources. I truly feel it's the only right thing to do to not send them away like that. Okay, and that is blocked off. No more beavers will get contaminated. So we ended up with 5 contaminated beavers. Not great by any stretch of the imagination. We shut that off. I think we need to conserve labor as much as possible. We got a decent amount of logs and planks, gears and planks, so let's pause those. Nothing to do in range. Okay. The problem is we didn't mark these for cutting. Now we did. And good for us at that point. Okay, drought ended. Because we have so many beavers contaminated, we need more labor. I am going to turn this other breeding pod back on. Because I think we can take the drain on resources. Let's see how our system worked here. So we're no longer... We're no longer sending water this way. That symbol means it's filled to the top and pressurized. So because we're not sending water that way, this filled up faster. We're not sending water this way, so it's sending it here, and we're not sending it over here, so that's filling up faster. So we're getting, hopefully, the water to come out of here much faster. That's what we contaminated our beavers for. And I'm already seeing some green. It took like 3 days for 2 days for it to come out last time. So yes, that is 100% faster. Unstable core is blowing up. Where are you? Over here. Once that goes boom, what will happen? Okay. Not much. Once that goes boom, this bad water will join. But actually, that's mostly good water. So we're just gonna have to set up some sluices to only let good water through there. Yeah, there's gonna be some bad water, but it can't flow this way, so it's just kind of stuck there. It's very slowly getting drained out. Oh wait, it was good water until this reached it. This is pumping out way faster. Okay, so it's not going to be good water. Unless we can get here and block this bad water from reaching this, then that actually has a chance to add good water to our system. Which is kind of a crazy concept. So I don't think there's much to actually do about this unstable core. It won't do anything until this one goes. And we can't really reach it to do anything about it anyway. So we'll just let that play its course. Let's turn our pumps back on. These ones should be paused. These ones should be going. I'd like to fill up our water, so let's get as many as we can. We don't have much cassava. Let's pause both of those. We don't have nearly enough lumberjack flags for up there. I think I'm going to unmark those 3 spots for planting in order to have more lumberjacks up here. Contamination should go away, so we should replant those oaks. Yeah, beavers are unwell. I know. With the current labor shortages, we're not making a lot of science. Which is definitely a problem. Drought's approaching, so we want to store as much water as we can. You know what? We have the materials to make a large tank. We don't have the science, but we have the materials. Build another medium tank, try to get some more water stored up. We are definitely going to need it. Yeah, a lot of our resources are holding steady. Like, we got plenty of logs. When we have the science, we can get the steam engine going. Let's copy those settings over there. This one can even probably be set to obtain. All right, well, we are over an hour, I just realized. I think we did good balancing the challenges of this episode. This was not fun, trying to build that up. And we had to contaminate some beavers in order to get better flow in our system. That's a terrible spot for a bad water pump. Part of the reason I put it there was just to try to get as much bad water out of that area as possible, so that it was more pure good water for pumping. Yeah, so we kind of looked at what this next unstable core explosion is going to do. Nothing too bad. Nothing bad at all, actually. Yeah, we're just trying to recoup our food and stabilize our water. We don't have a good place for a reservoir yet. Everything risks bad water contamination so badly that it doesn't make much sense to do a reservoir. So we're basically trying to survive these droughts by storing an ever increasing amount of water. And it's rough. It definitely is. So we can unpause these two before we forget. We're just going to store more water. Yeah, if you guys liked this episode, please leave a like. Hopefully you're enjoying seeing the 1.0 changes. I'm having fun with it. I'm definitely struggling, but I do like the challenge and I like problem solving, and this map is making me do a lot of problem solving. Subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time.